It's been over a month since I got my hands on this Vivo Z1Pro, and in this time I've sporadically played around with this phone, and I've also used it as my primary for about a week. So in this video, I'm going to be summing up my thoughts, my experience with this Vivo Z1Pro. Hey guys, Ash here from C4eTech, and if you do end up liking what you see, please don't forget to turn on notifications by hitting that bell icon. So let's start with what kind of sets the Z1Pro apart from the other phones in this segment. The chip inside. Vivo's gone for the Snapdragon 712 AIE here. This is a newer mid-range chip from Qualcomm, and it's about 10% faster than the 710 while also having better AI functions. As we saw in my dedicated gaming review, the 712 performs quite admirably when it comes to intense gaming. It managed to run pretty much every game we threw at it easily. The thermals were handled competently too. I didn't once run into any heating or throttling issues despite almost an hour of continuous gaming in this instance. The base Z1Pro, it comes with 4 gigs of RAM and 64 gigs of storage, and Vivo also offers higher 664 and even 128 RAM storage options. The fact that there is an option to expand storage via microSD in the form of a triple slot is a big pro as well. Now, the excellent hardware on the Z1Pro is also backed up by some stellar software. For example, the GameCube app. It boosts the system performance for all games and has options to block calls and notifications so that the gaming experience, it's not interrupted. Now, on top of this, the Z1Pro has a few unique PUBG related features as well, and here's a clip from my unboxing video. There's an esports mode that lets you optimize touch controls to avoid mistakes. It tweaks the performance settings so that the phone doesn't begin to lag or stutter even if the temps run a little high. And it also offers a sound localization training center, basically an app that trains your ears to distinguish between the different footsteps and bullet noises in PUBG. If you're into mobile gaming, the Z1Pro should look pretty interesting about now, right? Now, that's not all there is to the software though. This here is punchole on top of Android 9 Pie. punchole does take some getting used to. It is an acquired taste. Like the settings shortcut or quick toggles, it's not in the notification shade but the control center instead. Once you do get the hang of it though, the experience here is not bad at all. In fact, it's quite feature packed. And let me show you some of the features I really enjoyed using. You can set custom Google commands with the Z1Pro. So for example, you can ask Google to open Vivo albums and go to screenshots, or open the screen recorder and do a lot more with it. Now, this is on top of the dedicated smart key integration. So there is this dedicated button to the left and you can set it for various Google functions. I have a single press set up to take me to Google Search, long press for Google Assistant, and double press to trigger the image recognizer. Face unlock is also present here and it's super fast. You can have it activate on pickup, so the phone's mostly unlocked by the time you pick it up and glance at it. The control center, weird as it might be, puts controls right at the bottom and doesn't need you to reach all the way up to the top. Given the display sizes these days and the aspect ratios, I actually found myself liking this. Other features like gesture controls and tweak split screen functionality are also present and accounted for. They work quite well. Overall, I found the Z1Pro pretty snappy and responsive. The experience was quite good. Now, moving on to battery, the battery life on this phone, that is actually better than quite good. It's phenomenal. There is a mammoth 5000 mAh battery here, and with most use case scenarios, you're gonna end up getting almost 2 days on a single charge. Now, if you need to top up, there is a 18-watt charger included in the box. Sadly, this is micro USB and that's a big con. Now, okay, moving on. We've seen the internals. Let's now switch to what's on the outside. To the front, Vivo's gone with an IPS LCD panel. Now, this is a 6.55-inch display. It is not AMOLED, yes, but it is a high-quality LCD panel. The color's punchy, the viewing angles are excellent, and it gets bright enough that outdoor use is not a problem. To the top left corner, there is a little cutout where the camera sits. Barring this is a large screen that makes media consumption, watching videos, playing games, makes it feel immersive. The IPS LCD display used here means that the fingerprint scanner has to be physical, and it is present to the back. It's fast and responsive though. Talking about the back, it looks nice. Vivo calls this the Sonic Blue. It's attractive, especially when it catches the light. That said, it still is plastic. Given the price point, well, you can't really complain. You do need to note that, like all fog glass builds, this one is slippery and prone to scratches too. To the top here, we find a triple camera setup, yet another selling point of the Z1 Pro. The primary is a 16 megapixel sensor with a f1.78 lens. It seems to do well under good light. The images seem quite detailed, the colors are vibrant and punchy. I really like the dynamic range here. Like you see in this picture, there's ample detail in the shadows and the sky is not blown out either. Under low light, there is a dedicated night mode that complements the Z1 Pro's hardware, helps get the best out of it. The performance is quite satisfactory. The secondary, it's an 8 megapixel sensor with an ultra-wide lens. It's got a 120-degree field of view, and that kind of lets us cram in more into the shot. The colors and dynamic range again look good. The third one, it's a 2 megapixel depth sensor. Vivo here has provided a range of portrait lighting options along with the regular portrait mode. And on top of it, you can also adjust the bokeh after you've taken the shot. The edge reduction seems to be on point, and it's not just with the rear camera. The 32 megapixel selfie camera too takes good portraits. The background blur seems natural, and again we get loads of lighting effects to choose from. The images themselves are well detailed, and it does shoot 32 megapixel shots natively by default, unlike some of the competition. So overall, I enjoyed my time with the Vivo Z1 Pro. It's got some cons, yes, the micro USB is a big one, to a lower extent the lack of AMOLED and hence the lack of an in-display fingerprint scanner, but these are offset by a host of pros. A triple card slot, the newer Snapdragon 712 with AI options, with a mammoth 5000 mAh battery, that triple camera setup, and the excellent selfie camera amongst others. Now, that wouldn't amount to much if Vivo screwed up the pricing. Thankfully, that's not the case here. Vivo's kind of nailed the pricing. The Z1 Pro starts at $14,990, making this one of the best value for money options right now. For this price and the sheer number of pros that the Z1 brings with it, it is an excellent mid-range offering from Vivo. So there you have it, my experience with the Vivo Z1 Pro. Now it's your turn to tell me what you think about this phone. Are you impressed? Do you think Vivo should have done something differently? Let me know in the comments below. And while you're down there, go ahead, give this video a thumbs up or thumbs down based on whatever you felt about it. Subscribe, turn on notifications by hitting that bell icon if you haven't yet. Thanks a lot for watching. Till next time, my name's Ash. You've been watching C4E Tech, and I'm signing off for now. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.